Welcome to the Hear My Heart broadcast, where I talk about the matters of the heart. You can't understand a person without getting to the root, which is hearing them. I am your host, Tiffany Rochelle, affectionately known as the People's Cheerleader. Here's something I want to share about me. I'm an author, a speaker, a heart and a motivational coach, and I'm so excited that you've tuned in and we have the opportunity to grow together. I'm here to encourage and motivate you to be the best you ever. If you're feeling a little stuck or stagnated, or you're having a hard time getting over some things, please know you're not alone and that you've come to the right place and you're listening to the right person to help you through that. So let's dive into today's show of Hear My Heart. Here we grow. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. Okay, I'm over it. I got to stop all this singing. What's up with me? I can't help it. It's just in me. And what's in you got to come out eventually. So you got to be careful of the things that you ingest and the things that's inside of you, because they're going to come out. Rather it's good or rather it's bad. Either way, eventually it's going to manifest. So we got to make sure that we do the things that we need to do so we can excavate all the toxins from us and make sure that we're spreading kindness around like confetti. How about that? Nevertheless, I am your girl, T-Row, aka the People's Cheerleader, but I was born Tiffany Rochelle. So I am here, and I have an awesome VIP with me today. She is an author, and she has a super new book that's out, and she's going to share this with us. I am super, super excited for her to share all her goodness of things that's going on. She has an awesome personality, and she is so adorable. I want to call her cute because she's just so cute. But monkeys and dogs are cute, so I ain't going to say that about her. But she's so adorable. Nevertheless, the book that she has out is Daily Alignments. It's tools to balance your body, your mind, and your spirit. So she's going to help you move from surviving to thriving. And she has lots of tools that's going to help us get along with our journey. So I am going to present to some and introduce to others Miss Lucy.
Hello. What a wonderful introduction. Hello.
It's a wonderful introduction. It's a wonderful introduction for a wonderful person. Now that's giggity. Okay,
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. It is a reasonable service for you to be here. You have some fabulous information that's in some fabulous tools that's going on about you. And I feel like everyone needs to know about that. So I'm like, I gotta have her fabulousness on here to help somebody become a better individual. And I think you're the person to do that, right?
Oh yeah.
Awesome stuff. So tell me about you, or tell us about you. Who is you? Yes, I see.
Yes. So I'm Lucy Bird Hope. I am an author. This is my baby.
Hey, baby.
Yeah. And I'm also a holistic guide. I see clients and promote energy wellness using Reiki and shamanic practices. And yeah, I'd say I'm an uplifter. So I love the idea of like a cheerleader.
That's awesome. I absolutely love it. So tell me this. What was the real, I want to know the real reason why you decided to write this book?
Ooh, great question. So I never set out to write a book.
Okay.
I was going through a lot of trauma about 4 years ago. And every day I would just wake up feeling so bad. And throughout the day, whether it was from friends or family or one of many therapists, I would learn techniques that would help me feel better. But by the next morning when I would wake up, I'd just feel awful again. And I couldn't figure out really what was going on. So I decided to circumvent that wiring, and I started writing down the things I learned on a piece of paper, and I put it right beside my bed. And the moment I woke up and the moment I opened my eyelids, I would put that piece of paper in front of my face and replace all my thoughts with those techniques or tips or things that that did help me. And the pages became page on page on page. And eventually I self-bound them into a book for myself. And some friends and family noticed that I was doing a bit better, and they asked what was the catalyst. And I shared about the book. I was encouraged to publish it, and here we are. So it's very, very organic in my experience.
Well, I'm grateful. So you have to say that the tips and tools that you have put into the book, it's not just for everybody else. And it was like, oh, somebody needs to. This is stuff that you actually practice yourself.
Exactly. They were all techniques that I learned firsthand based on what I was going through, and then realized I had this plethora of concepts and realized they all fit into segments. So there's a mind part, a body part, a self-care part, activities in times of crises, life skills. So it was really neat to have it unfold.
Okay. I'm sorry. The extra person in me, you was like, there's a mind part, a body part. So I was like, ew, she said body parts. I'm so extra. I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
No, don't apologize. Be authentically you. That's one of the techniques in the book.
You, kid you not, that is a part of that. Part of my what's on my shirt is be you somewhere under be you right there. So I get it, and I totally encourage everybody to be themselves. Don't be anybody else. You got to be yourself. So I be like, Carrie, I'm sorry, I couldn't help it though. She said bodyguard. I just turned into a whole kid. She said bodyguard, yeah. Whatever. I'm sorry. So in this book that you've written, because you said that you have gone through it, these are practices and these are techniques that you have made applicable to your life because you wrote it down, and then you went through therapy, and there's things that you kind of forgot or didn't want to forget, so you woke up and that's the first thing that you met practically in the day. And that's a good thing because it kind of helped you to start your day. So it sets your day.
Exactly. I feel like getting that momentum as early in the day as possible really just carries through the rest of the day.
Yeah.
That alignment first thing.
What is your favorite part in the book?
Okay. So,
okay, I see it says right here. This is why you're so cute.
Okay, recently I've been feeling the spirit section.
Okay.
So it's a really broad concept spirit section because I wanted to make it accessible to everyone, no matter their religion. So I use concepts like higher power and things like that. And I've been really resonating with the last two concepts in the book in the spirit section, which are live just for today, which is it seems so simple, but it's really everything. It's letting go of what happened yesterday. It doesn't exist anymore. And it's letting go of what might happen tomorrow. And it's focusing on what you want to accomplish or experience or feel or be just in this one day. And it's wild how when I put my thoughts up to the test of, well, does this have to do with today? They fall away. They're forced to. It's like, well, that really doesn't have anything to do with today. Anxiety is thinking about the future. Depression is thinking about the past.
Right.
So if you can stay in today, it's just so powerful. And then the other concept that goes kind of hand in hand is being a blank page.
Okay.
So this is removing every single morning or any second. Right now you can do it. Removing all past programmings, removing all past identity, removing all the stories you've told yourself, everything. You can just start as if you were born again every morning.
It's a new day, right? It's a new mercy that we get the opportunity to see. So we get the opportunity to start over. How do you think, what's a technique that you think that we could use to help us start afresh? Because it's sometimes hard to get out of what you were saying, like the past. And so sometimes our past seems so ever present. And it's just like, I can't let it go. I don't want to let it go. And I can't. What do you think is something that we could do or a technique that we can use to help us stay present?
I totally get that. One of my favorites is focusing on positive aspects.
Okay.
So this is a concept where from the moment you wake up, like we've been talking about, you can start it then. And it's just highlighting anything in your environment or your life or your day that uplifts you or brings you joy or fulfills you. And these can be such simple things. So when you wake up, the comfort of your pillow under your head, the sunlight streaming in the window, the birds chirping. If you like the color of paint on your wall, if you have a dog in the room and you love them. So it's a little.
I hate the dog.
Right. I've got dogs around here somewhere.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's a little, it's like gratitude, but it's a little different because it's not searching for anything to be grateful for. Sometimes I've found in times of crises or depression or anything, I can't even search for, it just doesn't feel authentic when I'm searching that way. So this is just a way of looking at anything that's just in your environment and just simply labeling what's positive. Like if you're having a conversation with someone, even noticing the pleasant temperature of the room or an interesting piece of furniture, or if you like their earrings, so it's just highlighting those positive aspects. And then what you may notice, what I've seen, is that builds momentum and attracts more positive aspects into your experience over time. So not only is it a new thing to focus on, but you're doing your future a service because you're building this energy of positive momentum for yourself.
And then you're starting to pay attention to the things that are around you instead of focusing on all the things that used to excite me versus the things that, that brought me joy at that particular time. No, like this little sign over here. I got this little crystal ball. It's so cute. I like it. So
exactly.
It's so, for me, I like it. And it's like, oh my God, that's nice. So I like the fact that you're saying that because, again, it makes you pay attention to the things that are around you. And it's, again, we're talking about letting go of some of the things that was in your past and trying to be present. Be present. Hey, there's a blue bear that's over there. And that particular blue bear over there, my kids got that for my boys, got that for me. So I got it. I'm like, it does stir up a memory as to when they got it. And it's a positive memory, but I'm just like, but I'm still present. Even though it stirred up something happy from the past, it's presently right here with me.
Right.
I like that.
And that kind of gets me to, we naturally got to another concept that I'd love to share. It is because now we're highlighting things we're seeing, right? So anytime we tap into our sense of sight, smell, taste, touch, or sound, we're making ourselves in the present moment. Right. It's called a grounding exercise. So it's a sensory exercise, and it forces you to be in the present, and it forces your mind to let go of your thoughts because you're simply labeling, okay, what can I see? What are 5 things I can see? What are 4 things I can hear? What are 3 things I can touch? 2 things I can smell? 1 thing I can taste? It's a really easy little game, and you can kind of have fun with it.
That
it directs your attention,
Now I want to do it. Like, I feel like that is funny. I want to do it. Wait, hold on, pause. I want to do it. Okay, wait. So we're going to do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, I ain't got nothing to taste around here. I'm not running from you.
Well, so you can do anything you last maybe ate or drank, or sometimes there's like a metallic taste in your mouth. That's cool because it does hone you in, and you start really having to like fine tune that sense. An interesting thing is that hearing is our fastest sense of all the senses. Evolutionarily, that helps our ancestors be readily alerted of approaching danger. So that was the first one. So whenever I am overthinking and I just want to get one sense going, I'll just tap into my sense of hearing and labeling. And as you start to fine tune that skill, it's really interesting. Like, so maybe that's when we could play. So what do you hear in your environment? So maybe my voice. Is there any type of like air conditioning unit?
I was just going to say, so I hear you. My next thing I hear is this air conditioning that's outside. I mean, not outside, it's right here. It is right there. So I definitely hear that. And then the next, there's this bird that's right outside of my window. So I definitely able to hear that. So
and maybe even like your breathing or your own voice.
So I gotta do 5.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to. I'm just playing with the concept of it's just interesting when you start honing this skill that you're like, oh wow, I never even noticed I was breathing before. I'm making all these noises and I never noticed.
If I start breathing heavy on this doggone show, I need you to call 911. I'm in South Florida. Call 911, okay? Please and thank you. Tag everybody that is in my friend list on the face of the books and the Insta of the grams. Please and thank you. Go to her house. Somebody knows where I stand. Oh, but I don't want to be that person that has that heavy breathing. We just sitting here. I'm like. Now there are times I do believe in hearing your breathing, because that is something that helps you to be present. So it's like inhaling, exhaling. So that is something that's pop. But if I am heavy breathing, okay. Sorry. Okay. I quit. Question for you: have you ever found it hard, past tense and your present now, for you to ever open up to anybody or to people? Period.
I definitely, after I went through some trauma, I really did. I closed up. I mean, if this was a couple years ago, I don't know, I was just so, honestly, I dealt with agoraphobia, which is the fear of really even leaving your house. I was afraid of other people. I was afraid of the outside world. And it was so debilitating for me and so isolating. And
were you like that before COVID, or COVID brought that on?
No, it was my personal trauma that I went through, and it happened to be timed kind of a lot with COVID.
Okay.
So, but it was really totally unrelated. And it's been so amazing for me to have come out of that shell, to have healed from those wounds, and so much because of all the tips in my book. I mean, I really, when it was only the copy that I had written myself before I thought about publishing it, I read it every single morning. And now that I have the real version, I read it every day. I mean, it's really, I think that's why I believe in it so much, because it's changed my own life. I'm not the person I was. I'm a much better version.
Good stuff. What is if you're comfortable, what is one thing that kind of caused you to shut down?
Yeah, so I was dealing with mental and emotional abuse in the workplace.
Okay.
And I stood up to it.
Okay.
Hey,
you. Yes.
I stood up to it, and the results were really detrimental. And so it made me just afraid of that. It just made me afraid of kind of my own actions and other people's reactions.
Right.
And now I've learned that I'm responsible for myself and other people are responsible for them. So I'll stand up every time, even if it means there is some fallout. It's just part of the process.
Oh, you better be a leader. And you were like, I'm standing up for the greater good. How about that? I absolutely love that. And you said something just a little while ago, and I appreciate you for being honest about that it's your book that helped you, and it's helping you even now to still become a better individual. It made you better, and it's keeping you at progressing to become a better individual. So that's celebration to you. Like, good stuff. That's how good you are. You gotta understand, when you're that good, your own stuff inspires you. Come on.
I'll humbly take that compliment. Thank you.
That's a good thing, though. But I'm being serious. Like, cause even when you said that, that made me think about it. Because I wrote a book too. My book was called "I Choose Me." It's not was, is called, because it's still here. But I mean, it's a thing that I had to think about and speak, because I'm not just talking about you and your past traumas. I don't want you to feel like, oh, I'm picking on you, or what was bothering you that caused you to shut down. There was a point in my life too that I shut down, and it was just, I'm so busy always celebrating everybody else. I'm so busy always trying to, hey, you got to be better. You're going to do better. You're going to do better. That I was like, what about me? What about me? So that's kind of how my book came about, is I had to make the decision to choose me and to make sure that my life mattered, to secure my own air and make sure I was good. So, like, I like the fact that you're going to make me pick up my own book and go back. But I think I'm doing pretty well about choosing me now. I'm kind of selfish, and I celebrate being selfish.
Yes.
Some people are like, no, you shouldn't be selfish. Don't be that girl, please. I'm selfish.
Yes, and you have to be, because you cannot help others unless you are helping yourself. When your cup is full and running over, it can run over to everyone around you. But if your cup is empty, you can't do anything for anyone else. It's just a necessary first step in helping others is focusing on yourself and doing that self-care and placing yourself in priority position.
I see why you got Hope as a last name. I see. You's a hope pusher. You's a hope dealer. That's what you are.
I love that.
I'm about to start calling you that. You's a hope dealer. Some people deal dope, but you deal hope.
Oh my God, that's the tagline. I love it.
Let me quit. Okay, I quit. Tell me, how do we get in contact with you? How are individuals able to learn? Because wait, there's how many tips in your book?
Yeah, so there's 85, and so they're really easy to approach. Basically, every one of them is just like a page. So you see there's two different concepts right there. And I made it. I mean, I obviously, like I said, I made it for myself, but it's because in times of crises, I couldn't read a whole book. I just needed to get to the really good stuff, almost like bulleted. Just like, let's just get to the crux of the matter, because I don't have capacity for anything else. So it's 85 different techniques. And within each one, though, there's sometimes like 5 within one, but 85 overall. Yeah.
That's what. And so how do we get in contact with you so we know how to get this book?
Yeah, so the book is available on Amazon, Daily Alignment by Lucy Bird Hope, Bird with a Y.
Okay.
And then you can also order it or contact me from my website, www.lucybirdhope.com, Bird with a Y. And then on Instagram and Facebook, I'm at Lucy Bird Hope.
Come through. Oh, so you're smart. So you got all your social media handles with your name on there.
Yeah, I was lucky that no one else, I guess I'm the only Lucy Bird Hope. So I got lucky with it.
That's a good, because there's some people have this is one name and then that one.
Right.
Minute, I'm confused.
I like the community, yeah.
Clear across the board.
Things these days, so let's make it easy. You know,
I'm glad, straight across the board, you made it easy. So thank you. I appreciate it. See, this is why you're a hope dealer. I appreciate that. So I know you're like, how in the world did I get hooked up with this lady?
No, I'm loving this. This is so fun. I love the energy. Good vibes.
Appreciate you. So we're getting ready to close out the show. But before we close the show out, I always like to play this little game called This or That. So with that, I like to ask you 3 questions. And in the process of me asking you this or that question, you got to give me an answer, which is this or that, and you got to give me an explanation as to why you decided to choose that. You ready?
Ready.
All right. First question. What's more important to you, being seen or being heard?
Ooh, being heard.
Okay.
Yeah. So, didn't we? And isn't this funny? We just played a game where we listen. I feel like when we are hearing something, it is when we are heard, that person has resonated with us, and I feel like hearing is almost like ingesting something. It's like it's going in you. And I think being seen is beautiful and important too, but really I try to be seen so that I can be heard.
Okay. See what you did there. And that's kind of part of the show, is because it's hearing my heart. So you can't get to a person's heart unless you're able to hear it. If you spell the word heart, you see ear in it. So you got to listen to it. I'm sorry, I like words. I play.
Yes, I love it. They're powerful, and they're manifestations too. I mean, we have a thought, and when we speak it, it's been manifested. So it's in our life, it's in our vibration. Words are important.
You're absolutely right. It's going to definitely manifest sooner or later. So you're going to eventually see it. You may plant an apple seed now. You may not see it right away, but you're going to eventually do it. So what you say is very important. So you got to be mindful of the things that you say. There it is. Second question. You ready?
Yes.
You have one choice: love, money, or wisdom.
Love. Oh, love. Oh, love. Yes.
Sucker.
Well, I feel like love is the language of the universe. I feel like love is, I love myself. I love my dogs. I love my higher power. I love you. I love my friends. I love my
you.
I receive love. I give love. My book is a message of love. I mean, I feel like love is really what it's all about.
Okay. I like your answers. Yeah. Last and final question for this game. You ready?
Ready.
What's more difficult to walk away from? A great lover that ignores you, or the toxic lover that's always like paying attention and is into everything?
Ooh, what a great question.
I just use the Jeopardy music.
Well, I just had to, I'm like Rolodexing, thinking of situations. And I will say the hardest one to walk away from, not because it was, well, the hardest one to walk away from, I feel like, are the toxic scenarios, because I feel like within the word toxic is the momentum. It's a push pull. It's got you trapped. It's got you in there. Whereas I feel like the partner that ignores you but is great, that's kind of easier to cut ties, because they aren't with the toxic ones. They want you and you want them, and you pull away and they come, and all these ways.
We have this traumatic bond.
Yeah. It's too entangled. It's hard to walk away, but I mean hard meaning like energetically, not hard. It's the easier choice.
Right.
But I just have found it physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually harder to actually do because of the entanglement.
You're absolutely. Listen, you're on to something here. You're on. I agree with that one right there, because that can be so difficult, especially if you started off on the right foot with that individual and things are great. So now I love you and we bonded and things are great. And then somewhere along the way, shift happens. And now things are just difficult. And it's just like, but I love you and I see the best for you. And I'm hoping you're going to do better. And I believe. And then you see some progress and it's just like, but I see it. Here we go again.
You make me think of something that I realize in my experiences with the relationships, especially toxic ones. Someone can say something and mean it and still not be able to do it.
You're right, though.
And that was huge for me, because I thought, they said it, I can tell they mean it, I'm going to believe them, this will be the last time, it'll get better.
Yeah.
And then I finally realized, wow, they're saying it, they mean it, but they can't do it. And that's when it's my choice to leave.
Right, because their actions just aren't lining up. And they may have the willpower to do it. I shouldn't even say the willpower. They may have the, I want to.
Right, that's what I mean. They mean it, but they can't. So,
I may not want to work out. I definitely want to lose some weight. Just ain't going to the gym. I'm not getting up extra early to start working out. I forget about it. I'm just going to keep these good old jab bags right here. Forget about it. Tell me this. What is I'm giving you the last word for the final word, I should say. What is the message you want the world to know coming from the hope dealer?
That all the power is within you.
Okay.
That you have it all, and well-being is natural and always flowing to you. It's just about aligning with the habits and the different tips and tools, and just it's aligning yourself with the different ways to allow that well-being to come into you. But you have all the power over your health. You have all the power to be your best self. It's just about being open to it and then receiving what comes your way to get you there.
That's what's up. You know what? I like it. I absolutely love it. Hope dealer, Thank you so much for stopping by. I so appreciate you.
Oh,
You're an
thank you
amazing
for
individual.
having me. Thank you so much. This has been such a wonderful experience. Thank you.
Reasonable service. Thank you so much. Everyone, thank you so much for stopping in and spending some of your precious time that is non-refundable with me and with the Hope Dealer. So I'm super grateful that you decided to stop by. Join me next week as I'll have another VIP on the same Hear My Heart channel at the same Hear My Heart time. Grace and peace, y'all. See, cuteness overload.